All right, as always, here's the risk disclosure. Trading futures is risky. Know what you're doing before you do it, and you can lose all your money. Also, this live stream is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only, and the live stream is not intended to copy my trades. Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? Friday. Today's Friday the 18th. Thanksgiving next week. Good morning. Happy Friday. All right. Make sure all things are set. Morning, Todd. Chris, Emily, good morning, everybody. See if we can have a good Friday today. Market's been on a run up since the London session, it looks like. Can't hear me? Okay. It's just you, Chris. Unmute. All right, let me... No news for me this morning. Good morning, Kevin. Vegas, good morning. We had a little bit of a ODD on the 30-tick chart here. At the top with the red absorption X. Headed down. We're at the +5 deviation now. Maybe laying a mini magnet there. Let's see. We're on the 4th bar of 50-tick chop. So let's see if we get a 4th bar or not, and then look for a breakout. Huh. You signed into your account in Rhythmic or in NinjaTrader? Is it not showing? Yeah, I've even had one of those one time too, where the billing, for some reason, one of my accounts, it didn't auto pay. And I freaked out and messaged Chris. He said, just go in and manually pay it and you'll be good. So maybe check that if it was close, or if it was time for the billing to go through, like Chris said. Morning, Dan. All right, looks like we might be getting... We technically have a Simplicity long setting up here right above this flux. We have this level up here where the market reversed at about 837 on the 30 tick, where I would be cautious a little bit if you're going long, just to, if it makes it up there, kind of tighten up a little bit in case if it doesn't clear that area. We do have these 2 clusters where it may hesitate here. So, but we do have a long, Simplicity long. For me, for an LRE, I will be looking for it to break that top there before taking an LRE long. Yeah, Emily, actually there is early entry long there. Right here, both were angled up, broke that. It was going into that flux though, so I would have waited for the regular entry on this one, just because it's going right into that flux, and on that flux, on the 30 tick, that cluster was right there too. So we'll see here if we get an up close bar on this one, on the 50 tick here, at 839.75. That'd be a breakout bar for me, and that would put us above that level. So then I'd be looking for it to run a little bit and pull back and give me an LRE. But that mini magnet on the 30 tick did lay there right under the dev, so could be a push up. Like I said, I'd watch that 837 area to see if it breaks it. Nice, Dan. Just laid a ZOI on the 30. Now we're getting right up to that, pretty close to that 837. Hit 835. The high of the day is that 838.75. So it just popped up, hit 838. Let's see if it can break this. All right, so it's hesitating. Potential Paul on the 30 tick right there at that level. Right on top of that ZOI. So let's see if that stays or not, or if we can continue to push long. It didn't give us a new high. It almost got there. 838.25 is what it hit. The high of the day is 838.75. Couple ticks away. Okay, pushing through. That bar on the 50 tick did close up. Oops. So let's see if it wants to create another chop box, or if it wants to go up to the dev. There is a ZOI, a couple ZOIs on the 30 before it gets to the dev. So may hesitate there if it does continue long. See, it barely broke that ZOI and that top just by a little bit. So now we have ODD on the 10 tick as well. So I'm just patiently waiting to see if it'll continue running long before I even think about an LRE. A little 10 tick crash there. Actually, no, that's a mix of a 10 and 30 tick crash, creating that crash. I'm not taking an LRE here. Morning, morning. Yeah, this cluster may lay on the same level as the one to the left. Right there. As of now, bar hasn't closed, so it could move up and down, up or down a little bit. Morning. Not much happening so far. We have a little move going long here, but trying to see where the market wants to go from here. Yeah, it's I don't like it though when the 50 tick is so choppy when it's up, going up but choppy like that. Look at that. You got 3 bars, 3 bars, 3 bars, and now we're on the next set. So I don't necessarily like that for a JFT just because it'll make it. I mean, you could take it if there's clear divergence, which there is, but the only thing is on the way back down it could be a little rough. Or sometimes it could be a clean sweeper leg after all that chop and just run down. So, but typically, I just don't like when it's chopping up like that. Well, on the 50 tick. Even simplicity right now, I mean, it's just choppy at the moment. This morning so far looks like it'd be good for sniper trades because they're clean legs, pretty clean legs. It's just on the larger scale, it's not as clean. Let's see. There's a Lorex short here. Little SLZ short where there's under this flux. There's a couple sniper trades there. Yeah, that's what I mean, Jeff. Right now, we keep hitting a high. Like now, we just made another new high of the day. So, but the sideways action on simplicity, if this comes back down, if it runs up further, tries to go up to this COI up here, somewhere in this area, and comes back down to test this top chop area, then that'd be a nice place for an LRE. Because see, this was that 837 area that I said that I'd be watching to see if it could break it, and it struggled. Definitely struggled there. And now it popped up, but I definitely needed to run up further to confirm that we are moving away from that and then come back and test it. That's where I'd be looking for an LRE. But I need this thing to run up a little bit more for sure to prove to me that we're clear. You might get an ETX on the 10 tick here. If this closes up, that might be the bar that breaks us up. This ETX, if it can close up, might be our signal that it's going to go now on the 10 tick. Little ETX. We're right on top of those double clusters to the left on the 30 tick. Trying to see what we're going to do here. Nope. Might be coming down. Let's see. All right, let's see if Simplicity wants to go short under the flux here. Thanks, Dan. Glad you liked it. Yeah, I've done that many times, especially, I chalked that down to, for myself, the impatience of wanting to, either get funded, get a withdrawal, or, just make a lot of money. The slow and steady thing was hard for me. Looks like we have a Simplicity short under this flux here. See where we can head to. Yeah, and during the Wealth Summit, John had a little segment where he talked about how slow and steady wins the race, and talked about, how to pass your evaluations and this and that. And even though I had already passed before then, that was a great just kind of reminder. For sure, Mark. That's why for myself also, I feel like I had to get multiple accounts because, don't get me wrong, making $100 a day in an hour sitting at the computer is amazing. But then I wanted to make a lot more. So getting multiple accounts and just seeing it total up, that really excited me. Pretty slow last 15-20 minutes at the moment. Have to be patient today and just wait for something good to set up. I think yesterday I was calling out 820 level, 11,820 for the market to run down to pre-market. No, that wasn't it. Oh, that's a few days back. Dang, I'm losing track of time. Yeah, Jeff. That is but see that's actually, so I think I kind of like to look at trading in phases, right? I think a beginning phase, you have a lot of lessons learned, you lose a lot, but the bouncing back and forth, I think, is a next phase. Like, I think a lot of people go from losing to now you're bouncing back and forth and you're just trying to get ahead. And then after you kind of overcome that little phase, then you start just, being profitable with smaller losing, losing less. So I think that, in my opinion, I feel like that's progression, to be honest. And even, sometimes even I still am bouncing back. This month has been a back and forth month for me. The first couple weeks were like, I was like, man, I'm on a little bit of a back and forth too. This week has been great. So this week has actually put me ahead. But, also, market conditions changed. There was elections going on, all kinds of stuff. So that's where why I always preach the money management comes into play. Whereas, as long as you limit your losses and keep with your money management, you should be able to get through those times of either slumps or bad markets and just, have the patience. And just keep in mind, long game. Look at weeks, months, and years. Yeah, I hear you, Jeff. I know. Trust me, I know. You just have to, at that point, you really just have to find some silver lining in there, some bright spots, and just kind of hang on to that until you get out of this little period. Yeah, Vegas, it's kind of weird. Like, I take it, of course, day by day, but at the same time, I'm not concerned with the day by day. Obviously today I'm focused on today. All right, let me stop where I'm supposed to. But I'm not concerned with the day by day. I'm looking at the overall, at minimum, I look at weeks. The week, at the end of the week, how did I do this week? If that makes sense. 30 TTBS. Oh, maybe it went away. Yeah, it must have went away. Yeah, if there was a TBS on the top of this wick here, right by that level, that would have been sweet. That means that would have pushed that market down. Or supposed to mean that. I do that daily, Mark. I don't stop for the, because I've tried that, and the thing is every day is a different day. You know, we don't know what the market conditions are going to be each day. So every day I try to come in clean slate, you know, just with the mentality of that I'm starting fresh. Today's a brand new day. Anything can happen in the market. My number one goal is stopping when I'm supposed to on the losing side for sure. On the losing side, if I have a set amount of ticks I'm risking for the day, I just have to make sure I stop. And then when you turn around at the end of the week, that's whenever, because I've had I've started the week off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday bad, and then all of a sudden Thursday and Friday just were great days and washed out those 3 days. So yeah, Dan, a mini magnet on the 30 tick. So it would have had to lay a mini magnet there for it to be a TBS. It don't have to have, for the 30 tick, it don't have to have a Xbox or anything like that for it to be a meaningful TBS. Just see, like this mini magnet it just laid. If that was on the third bar there, that would have been a TBS and it would have been sweet. But a mini magnet right here on this bar can still push it down. But it's not as significant as if it was on the third bar. Yeah, FBS. Now, I will say, Mark, too, it depends also on your trades. Because if you're having a bad week and maybe you're taking bad trades or you just feel like mentally something's off and your trades are not by the rules and things like that, then maybe you can say, well, I need to refresh, review, go over some of the videos or something. But if you're taking good trades and they're just failing, then, that's when I just keep going. As long as I follow my money management. Yeah. Yeah, yesterday I got one great trade, so that did good. Wednesday I didn't take a trade. The news never settled down enough for me and never gave me an opportunity. Monday I had a losing day. I think. I need to go back and look. I believe I did. And then Tuesday I had a great day. Yeah, Mark, exactly. Oh, okay, Jeff. Yeah. Oh, I do remember seeing the a couple days this week after the market opened that it got really choppy and nasty. I don't remember what days it were, but I remember seeing that. Because I still try to kind of pay attention a little bit, even though I'm not trading. See if we can break this dev. Dev with a mini magnet right under it. Looking at the 30 tick, I'm really not expecting too much right now with how slow the market is moving. Volume is just under 100,000, so volume is pretty low. 30 tick chart here, because we have a couple ZOIs, and if this does end up keep pushing short, we have this mini magnet. Right below that, we have this I block on top of this ZOI. So, I mean, I don't see this just busting straight through all that. And then below that, we have this ZOI 800 level and chop to the left over here. So if this continues pushing down, I mean, not saying there wouldn't be any opportunities, but I wouldn't expect it just to have a straight run, beautiful run down, especially with the low volume right now. And if this goes up, then again, we're talking about new highs again of the day. So I don't have real big expectations for right now this morning. Let me check what the liquidity liquidity looks fine. Liquidity looks fine. It's just the volume is low. Yeah, Jeff, I would be looking for power plays right now. That'd be a good time to look for power plays. Like right now, we could be setting up it would be in position to be a power play too, because it didn't quite make it to this previous bottom, and we're getting towards an HD number almost. So if this is about 125% and this bar closes up, that could be a power play too, and you'd expect it to run back up to the top. Now, if this bar came a little further down and was ODD and closed up, that'd be a power play 1. So you could play the ranges like that, where if this does stay kind of where we are now and closes up, then you could look for a sniper long or Lorex long or something like that to go up with it and trail it to the top. So that's kind of what I'd be looking for this morning. I look at the orders inside the bars, Dan. So I don't really keep a order print chart open right now, but when I get my new monitor, I will, because then I'll have more room. But for right now, I just keep the room chart open, and right here inside the OP chart, you see the bars. Like it's here and there. Like now I'm seeing a lot of single digits and zeros and blanks. So liquidity might not be great. At the moment, probably just because we're sitting there, there's a lot of double digits. But now it is looking like it is kind of thin. So when you see a lot of single digits and zeros in there, liquidity is low. And then, of course, I look at the market analyzer for volume. All right. Testing the mini magnet on the 30. We do have a setup bar on Simplicity, so we could get an entry underneath the magnet here. There we go. There's a Simplicity entry short. If you're taking this, you got the gap level, I block and ZOI down here. I would expect to potentially hit that and tighten up maybe. To the left, right just about where it did hit, there's this cluster. So be careful with that too. So it just looks I probably would have stayed out of this Simplicity though, because it just looks like it'd have a hard time getting down there. I mean, there was technically, if you're looking at the technicality side, an entry before, but I wouldn't have entered this thing if I was going to take it until, yeah, this, until it broke. We have a setup bar, 847.30. Let me switch over. Right here where they're both angled down, 847.30, and then it broke below, which made it break that mini magnet. That's where I would have taken the entry. Because there was an entry back here. Like right here, these two are angling down, and then it broke that low. But it's choppy and going into that mini magnet. So in those situations, I just wait. And then once it gives another entry below that mini magnet, that's where I would have got in. If I was taking this. But again, I probably would have skipped this one just because of all this down here. And it looks like it is going to hesitate down there. We do have a pullback to test this area, but I'm not going to take this LRE because if you look on the 10 tick, while it's pulling back up here, it left this mini magnet on top of this wall, and that's very strong. That's a very strong signal. That's a strong level when an EOP lays on top of a wall. And then up here, down here, we did lay a mini magnet with ODD and a Lorex. So I'm not going back short into this. Not saying it won't work, but I'm not going to do it. Probabilities are low for me on that. Good morning, Joey. Thanks for joining. And if anybody on here is new and is wondering what you're looking at, this is the Apex Investing Sniper System. You're looking at the charts here. That 10 tick. I have multiple charts, and I click through. I switch over. You can visit futuresniperbeast.com to learn more about that. But that is what you're looking at. Yeah, cluster on that wall too, Jeff. Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't expect this to continue down right now. If anything, maybe chop first a little bit, but if it does want to continue down, and the reason why is because also right back here we have these double ZOIs in cluster. So it's pushing kind of back into that area. And if it does, I'm just expecting a little more chop. Look further left on the 30 tick, another cluster, double clusters. So I think this little area might be, I'm not a big fan of it. So that's another reason why I wasn't taking that LRE short. Well, and it really didn't pull back enough for an LRE anyways. But it was within a point. I guess you could have, but there was no reason for me to take this one. Okay, now we're in that area with the double ZOIs and cluster. Hey, morning, Jim. Morning, Ron. How's it going? Friday, being extra cautious. Market slow. Volume is low. Liquidity is kind of low here and there. Some bars are okay. So just trying to read the market and see what happens. If you got trapped in that simplicity, should be out now. But if you're not, if you're holding on behind that mini magnet on the 30, I would definitely, if this comes back to break even, get out. We got another double clusters on the 30 tick here. Chris, I said that because I know some people like to hold behind levels. I mean, it could break down. I'm just not getting that read right now because of everything that's below. But I mean, it could. We're closer to the high of the day too. Yeah, because we got on this 30 tick. Because what I'm seeing, that's why I didn't necessarily like it going short, because even if it broke that mini magnet, which it did, and that, you got in below, then you had that wall, then you have the yellow gap, then the I block, then the ZOI. If it does break that, then you have the ZOI below where the 800 level is, and then all that chop to the left. So it could, but I think it'd be a pretty ugly ride. Now it's potentially going to lay a mini magnet right down there too. So if this bar closes up at 826.75, we'll have 3 spaced out mini magnets, double clusters, double ZOIs, dev. I mean, all kinds of stuff here to cause chop. It's also why earlier when the JFT was brought up, that I said I wouldn't like it either whenever we have those chop blocks going up. Then on the way down, if it would have came down, I would have felt like it would have been a little messy ride. $826.75 is where this 30 tick bar needs to close if it's going to keep that mini magnet down there. There it goes. It closed. It left that mini magnet. Now we have all this here. Mini magnet, double clusters, double ZOIs, dev, mini magnet here. We could chop around a little bit. Look at that. Now it's potentially laying another mini magnet there. Yeah, to me, the short doesn't, I'm not crazy about any shorts either, because even when looking left, after all that I showed, right below that chop area, below 800, all the way to the left was a 3 cluster spot. I mean, there's just too much. Of course, anything can happen, but yeah. 50 tick. That's what I was talking about. Got a little run up. Three bar chop. 3-bar chop, 3-bar chop. And that's right under that area. There's that 800. Right under that 800 was those 3 clusters to the left, which would be this 3-bar chop. Right below that, you got the dev. So now we do have a simplicity long here. Going right back up to that high in that 837 ZOI. Yeah, volume, same thing, John. I look at the market analyzer. Volatility, that's more so the simplicity chart is measuring implied volatility. The solid line here. So that's where I'm looking at when these align with price, when they're angled green and in a angled up in a long position and they're agreeing, then that's price and implied volatility agreeing. Same thing opposite if they're angled red and down. So that's what this simplicity chart is. It's measuring implied volatility. And that, in case if yeah, that's proprietary to Apex as well. We're back up to that ZOI up here. 837 ZOI, where that mini magnet. ZOI mini magnet on the top, so we're testing that again. Our high of the day is 843, so we're not there yet, but we're testing the top. So I'm absolutely not looking for a trade right now. I don't want to get caught in the middle. I either need this thing to break away from 840 or break well below 800. It looks like for me to be comfortable with the trade. Yep, exactly, Dan. So that's why earlier, by reading what I was reading, I was saying I'm not expecting too much from today, to be honest. No, Jeff, I need this thing to go because we're in this middle choppy, rangy area, where I need this thing to break above that 840 area and make its way towards this COI up here. If it starts making its way towards that and pulls back somewhere to test the top of 840, that's where it would be my preferred LRE. Going long. I mean, this one isn't horrible. That just happened right here, but it's still in the middle, so I don't like it. But there's indications that this one would go, that we're in right now. Just because it's kind of where that mini magnet was, right here on that 4th bar, pulled back a little bit below it, and it has that HD on the 10 tick, but I don't love it, just because it's in the middle of this whole area we've been in. And you could have gotten 5 to 7 points on it. I've come to recognize when the market moves a certain way and I'm seeing certain things that my probabilities are not as high. Like, especially right now, the market's, it's not going on really good runs. And like I said, liquidity is here and there, but volume is on the lower end. So I've just seen on those days, sometimes not everything works out exactly the way it should. Damn, we even got a reset on that LRE there, which is fine. You could still take an LRE even if it resets. But just goes to show you kind of how the market is right now. Not clean trends. So if we get along above this 840 area, like I said, and starts heading towards this upper ZOI, then I'd feel good about, on a pullback, taking an LRE back long to go get that ZOI. Yeah, Dan, exactly. Same here. That's why I mentioned I've kind of learned over time the ones for me to take and not take, and that's why I'm a little bit more picky. Yeah, Jeff, this mini magnet that it just laid on the 30 tick could be an indicator it wants to push higher. Laid it right back in the middle, going up. So we'll see if it can break. 843 is our high, so Dan. I only have a few days. I don't have very many days loaded. I actually was just thinking about that yesterday, that I need to add a couple more on my 30 tick, because I think I only have, I have 3 days on my 30 tick. So I wanted to move it to 5 because I lowered them from a while back. I don't know if y'all remember. It's been a little while now, though. That NQ was just really extremely crazy. So I lowered them a little bit. And that was also before I upgraded my RAM and stuff. So 10 tick, I have 2 days. So 2 and 3, which I kind of want to go to 3 and 5. Oh, and also because I added the Lorex indicator, and that one's it was heavy, and I didn't have all my RAM yet on my computer, so I shouldn't have any issues with 3 and 5 though. Nice little crash on the 10 tick. All right, maybe we're going to try to push up. We'll see. Morning. Nice. Not bad there. Spending this week's gains. Yeah, you got to put money in your pocket for sure. We want to build these accounts, but we trade to make money. Yeah, NQ is usually going to take the longest because there's way more ticks. It has to load up. Coming back down and testing this crash. A Lorex long off this crash would be nice. but it heard me. More mini magnets. Man, on the 30 tick. Another one on the top. It's just laying mini magnets at the top, bottom, and middle, everywhere. Man. I mean, this is screaming at me to stay out of the market right now. I mean, literally. 50 tick is still chopping right there. I mean, at 9:09, yeah, looks like I'm going to wrap up my week unless something crazy happens. But morning, David. How you doing today? Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. As I always say on Fridays, trade the way you normally trade, but just don't do anything dumb. I've had way too many dumb Fridays where I'm like, God, that was stupid. Now I got to sit there all weekend and wait till Monday. So exactly. That's like always my Friday goal. It's just not to be dumb. Don't do anything stupid. I can handle a loss, but don't do anything stupid. At least if I do something stupid Monday through Thursday, I have a day, the next day to trade good. 2 break even, 1 loss. Nice. Was that today already or over the week? This week. Good. Awesome. Yeah, I'm that type of trader too, where 14 trades, that's a good amount of trades for me. Something like that, 14, 15, 10 to 15 trades for the week. Yeah. Oh, man, Ron. I don't know if I've accidentally done that, but I know I've dozed off before in the past where I'm just sitting there. It's so boring and you're like, nothing happening in the market. Yeah, that would have woke me up too. Dang, hopefully you're able to close out of that one pretty quick. Not take a loss. Let's see. This week, let me check my... Yeah. See, Monday, had a bad day Monday. It was within my rules, so I wasn't concerned. Oh, hold on a second. There we go. Monday was down. Tuesday was a great day because I came all the way from down to positive. And then Wednesday I didn't take a trade, and then Thursday I had a nice day too. So nice profitable week. 1,612 cumulative ticks. So I needed that one, especially after the up and down for the first couple weeks for me on this month. Closed out down 165 and reverse rate. Oh man. Oh yeah, I've done that too, Jeff. When I first got my mouse that I have now with the sensitive clicking, even I'm just kind of hovering and accidentally click. I'm like, oh crap. So I stopped. I used to hover up here on my 10 tick. You see my buy market, sell market, because I enter with market trades. I used to hover up here, and I've done that where I'm like, oh crap, my finger just gets too heavy on the button and it clicks. So I'm like, oop, nope, I don't do that anymore. I use my hotkeys now. My F9 and F10 is my entry buy and sell buttons now. So I don't even hover over those. Yeah, Dan. Hey, if you're scared to look at it, that means you need to look at it. Look at it, analyze it, and work on it. Just do it. That was part of me. That's actually why I started tracking everything so much, because I would be embarrassed too. I would say, oh my God. And then I'd say, tell myself, you know, I don't want to be embarrassed looking at this anymore. So now my goal is to see progress on it. Yeah, there's nothing happening to me for me today, y'all. This is hopefully after the open changes and gets y'all some good. Hey, it's all good, Dan. We're all here to grow and get better. But yeah, hopefully market looks nice for everybody else that's going to be trading after the open. But there was absolutely nothing looking good for me today. Yep, exactly. I want to. Yeah. That's key. Because when you're actually reading the market, you can look and tell, like, there's no reason for me to take a trade. Just hand off the mouse and keys, whatever. Like today, I had zero urge to get into anything. See you in Vegas. Have a great weekend. See you Monday. Trade well the rest of the day. All right, y'all. I'm just going to go ahead and hop off because there's not much going on unless somebody has something specific. But otherwise, no, Ron, there was nothing for me today. I didn't see anything that I liked. Not at all. So, you too. Everybody, y'all have a great weekend. Next week is Thanksgiving. So, Thanksgiving week, we just, again, have to be a little market awareness next week, see what the market's doing. I'm going to hop in Monday through Wednesday to see, to have a look at the market. If it's looking like liquidity issues, volume issues, things like that, and if the market's looking anything like today, I probably won't even stay on long next, Monday through Wednesday. So we'll see what it looks like. Everybody trade well. Have a great weekend, and I'll see y'all Monday. Take care.